City police are continuing their investigation regarding the 51-year-old male that was reported missing. At approximately 6:30 p.m., officers located the body of the missing male in the southeast area of the Root River Golf Course. The male was pronounced dead at the scene. No foul play is suspected at this time. The investigation will continue in partnership with the coroner's office. Just before midnight Saturday, City Police responded to a single vehicle collision involving a motorcycle at the intersection of Trunk Road and Fournier Road. It is known that a motorcycle driven by a 23-year-old male from Sault Ste Marie was traveling northbound on Fournier Road, approaching Trunk Road. The driver lost control and the vehicle crossed the intersection, coming to rest on the north side of Trunk Road. The driver of the motorcycle was transported from the scene with life-threatening injuries. Officers with the Traffic Services Division of the Sault Ste. Marie Police Services are continuing their investigation. Ontario Premier Doug Ford pledged the province's full support to Ottawa residents recovering from Friday's tornadoes as he met with some of those hardest hit. Ford made the pledge yesterday after he arrived in Dunrobin, the Ottawa neighborhood struck by tornadoes that snapped power lines and leveled homes. Meeting people at a local high school who had been displaced by the storm, Ford offered his sympathies and reassurances.
You know, with folks here, but as long as no one has been killed, we can replace the infrastructure, and we will. We will spare no resources in this province, and I'm so impressed with our first responders in all areas, how well they're working together. We're being briefed every few hours, and it's devastating. A lot of us have never seen anything like it. We will spare no expense to make sure we get people's lives back up and going.
City Council will be asked tonight to approve a 6-month trial for local bicycle sharing. Many of these bike share systems allow people to rent a bike from a dock and then just return it. People can use their smartphones to see the locations of nearby bikes and open docks and to pay rental fees. Families of victims and a woman who was almost killed by an Ontario nurse will speak for the first time today in St. Thomas at a public inquiry into the serial killing case. Elizabeth Wetlaufer is serving a life sentence after confessing to killing 8 patients with insulin overdoses and attempting to kill 4 others at long-term care facilities and private homes in Ontario for over a decade. The closing submissions will provide insight into the impact the crimes had on the victims' families, highlight the failings that allowed it to occur, and include recommendations to prevent similar crimes from happening. The inquiry has heard that complaints about Wetlaufer began at the start of her career back in 1995 and continued until she admitted in 2016 to killing multiple patients. Leaders of the Progressive, Conservative and Liberal parties gave a final push yesterday, the last day of the New Brunswick election campaign. Outgoing Premier Brian Gallant told supporters not to take a Liberal majority for granted.
Is this. We have to be careful with the idea of thinking that, oh, the Liberals will form a majority government, which I believe will be the case, and because of that, I can lend my vote to another party, to maybe the NDP or the Greens. But we want to be careful because when somebody does that, vote splitting can have us unfortunately wake up Tuesday morning with a Blaine Higgs and Conservative government, maybe propped up by a third party. And that would, in my opinion, be the wrong direction for our province.
Well, not only possible, it's a reality because of the quality of candidates that are out there working so hard and the quality of volunteers that have been working so hard to make it happen.